Well, this morning we're with Greg Riley to talk about puppy mills.
Right.
We've had an incident recently here in the Wabash Valley,
Right.
and many people have asked, what exactly is a puppy mill?
Puppy mills, basically, they're a variety of, obviously, that's kind of a loose term, but basically a puppy mill kind of brings up a negative connotation where it's a large breed organization or outfit that breeds dogs just for sole profit and basically keep the cost down. And basically they're in, like, say, chicken coops or rabbit hutches or something along those lines, and more or less they're not taken care of very well.
Now, you brought Pagan here with us today. Now, if you had something like, Pagan was one of those puppies at a puppy
Right.
mill, they almost force them to be overbred, basically.
Correct, right. Inbreeding is definitely pretty common. They're only really served to do one thing and one thing only, and that's just to make more puppies, more or less, to be sold at your local pet stores.
And Lindsay and I saw the story yesterday. We were talking about how it was just deplorable conditions, just terrible.
Right, right. I mean, obviously we could see right here the amount of filth that was not really cleaned up or anything like that. There were a couple other pictures right there of it looked like a Chihuahua, where you could really see all the ribs on the rib cage. Along the spine was exposed, probably has some spondylosis or some form of arthritis or something along those lines.
And we've also had people ask us, I want to adopt a dog. How do I know if I'm going to buy a dog from a breeder or from a puppy mill?
Really the best thing to do is just to actually be at the site of the breeder, per se, and get to know the person, look at the veterinary records and so forth. And that's usually the best way to go about it, because otherwise you really don't know.
And if they tend to have a large amount of dogs, that's kind of one of the signs that something's going on.
Something's going on. Usually the smell will give it away, and usually the amount of noise that's going on. But that's very rare to happen. Most people who are doing that usually want to be out of the spotlight. They don't want to be associated with that kind of reputation.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, if people here in the Wabash Valley think somebody, a neighbor of theirs, run into a puppy mill incident, go to adopt a dog, and they see something like this, how can they report it?
Really contact the sheriff's department, and that's probably your first big thing to do.
Okay. Now, if you get a dog from a puppy mill and you didn't know it, and
Right.
you're noticing some health issues, what can you do to help out the dog?
Really take them to a veterinarian and provide the best care that you can in terms of medication and so forth. Now, the ones that have been confiscated, that have been rescued over in Putnam County, there were 67 altogether, 28 right now, or with the Four Paws Say Canine Rescue over in Brazil, Indiana. They have a myriad of problems in terms of bad teeth. They need to be spayed, neutered. They've got roundworms and hookworms. A lot of them are missing hair. There is a fundraiser tomorrow over at the Pet Food Center between 1 and 3. If you would like to go and maybe help out with some money or possibly adopt one of them, you certainly could check it out.
Okay, and before we had to break, also, if you'd like to get a hold of Greg Riley or find out more information about how to help out those dogs, you can take a look at your screen now. There's a number on your screen. Before we had to break, you're watching News 10 This Morning on WTHI.